Hey, if you're a man over 50, you're going to want to lean in for this one. This little explainer could seriously be the key to changing your nights, and let's be honest, your days for the better. We're about to dig into how the fruit just sitting in your kitchen might be directly connected to your prostate health.
Does this sound familiar? You know, it's the middle of the night and, yep, you're up again. You're standing there, the stream is just not what it used to be, and even when you're finished, your bladder still has that annoying, full feeling. You're not alone in this, not by a long shot. This is a daily reality for more than half of men over 50, and it's usually thanks to an enlarged prostate, a condition called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH for short.
But here's where things get interesting. The solution might actually be way simpler than you think. In fact, it could be hiding right there in your fruit bowl. The food choices you make every single day can make a massive difference. We're going to look at how some fruits can actually make those nighttime trips worse, while others can help soothe things, bring down inflammation, and maybe, just maybe, help you get the sleep you've been missing.
Okay, so let's start with what you might want to cut back on. We've got 4 common, so-called healthy choices that could be quietly making those bathroom trips more frequent. Let's get to know the culprits.
First on the list, fruit juice. I know, it seems super healthy, right? But here's the deal. When you juice a fruit, you're basically concentrating all of its sugar and tossing out the most valuable part, the fiber. Without that fiber to slow things down, all that sugar hits your system like a jolt, and that can really irritate the bladder. So the takeaway here is super simple. Eat the whole orange, don't just drink the juice. It's such an easy swap, but it makes a world of difference.
Next up, watermelon. Now, it's amazing for hydration, no doubt. But if you eat a lot of it, especially before bed, it kind of acts like a mild diuretic. And what does that mean? Well, it fills your bladder up fast. Plus, it's pretty high in sugar, which isn't great for inflammation. The key here is really just balance. A smaller, cup-sized portion earlier in the day is fine, or you could just swap it for some hydrating citrus fruits that won't overload your system.
All right, let's talk about what I call the concentration effect. Grapes are sweet, sure, but when you dry them out to make raisins, you're basically creating these tiny little sugar bombs. Get this, a small box of raisins can have as much sugar as a can of soda. That crazy sugar spike can really increase bladder urgency. A much smarter choice is just a handful of antioxidant-packed berries. You still get that natural sweetness, but without the sugar overload.
And number 4, canned fruit. Now, hold on. The fruit itself isn't the bad guy here. The problem is that heavy, sugary syrup it's usually drowning in. All that added sugar just fuels inflammation. So here's your pro tip. Always go for fresh or frozen fruit. And if you absolutely have to get canned, just make sure it's packed in its own juice or water. Definitely not that heavy syrup.
All right, enough of what to avoid. Now for the really good stuff. Let's flip the script and talk about what you should be eating every single day. We're talking about 4 absolute powerhouses that can actively protect your prostate and help calm down those symptoms.
So first up is a fruit you probably think of as a vegetable, the tomato. Its secret weapon is something called lycopene. It's a really powerful antioxidant. And here's a cool little fact. Cooking tomatoes actually unlocks that lycopene and makes it way easier for your body to absorb. So that means things like tomato sauce, soups, and stews are fantastic choices for fighting inflammation.
We already mentioned these as a great swap for raisins, but honestly, they deserve their own moment in the spotlight. Think of berries as your personal antioxidant team. You've got blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. They all contain compounds that help fight off damaging free radicals and dial down inflammation. And less inflammation means less irritation for your prostate. Plus, the fact that they're low in sugar is just a huge bonus.
Let's talk about citrus for a minute. Things like oranges, lemons, limes, they're absolutely packed with vitamin C. And vitamin C is crucial for lowering stress from inflammation and protecting your cells from damage. Just one important thing to mention though, grapefruit can sometimes interfere with common medications for things like blood pressure or cholesterol. So if you're taking those, it's a good idea to just double check with your doctor or pharmacist first.
And our final powerhouse is the pomegranate. This fruit is loaded with these unique antioxidants called polyphenols that are amazing at quieting inflammation. In fact, some research has linked it directly to things like easier urinary comfort and even a slower drift in PSA over time. You can enjoy the seeds, which are called arols, toss them in a salad, or you can drink 100% pure pomegranate juice.
Okay, so we've covered the what. Now let's get into the how. Look, this is not about some crazy radical diet overhaul. It's all about making small, smart, consistent swaps that really add up over time. Let's put together a simple action plan.
So here it is, all in one neat little chart. On the left, you've got the 4 to limit, and on the right, the 4 to start bringing into your daily routine. You know, seeing it laid out like this really makes it clear just how simple these swaps can be.
Let me just walk you through what a simple, prostate-friendly day could look like. For breakfast, instead of that glass of juice, have a whole orange and throw some berries on your oatmeal. Easy. At lunch, just add a few slices of fresh tomato to your sandwich or salad. And for an afternoon snack, instead of reaching for raisins, try stirring some pomegranate seeds into your yogurt. See, they're just simple little tweaks, but they can have powerful results.
You know, when it comes down to it, it's all about a simple choice. By making these small, smart decisions at the grocery store and in your own kitchen, you can really start to take back control. You can trade those restless nights for better health, one delicious piece of fruit at a time. The power is, quite literally, right there on your plate. If you found this explainer helpful, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more health tips. And let us know in the comments, which one of these swaps are you going to try first? Thanks for watching.